Well, hello and welcome back to this conversation that we are having around All Saints Sunday in this Legacy Week here at Fraser Church. And I encourage you to go back and listen to these actually in order so that you get the flow of the conversation and the stories that we are telling. And I encourage you to come out and join us this Sunday, November 2nd, at a special time at 10:24, which speaks to Hebrews 10:24 and 25, where we are going to gather as one big church to celebrate what God has done in the lives of the saints that have been a part of the Fraser family that have gone before us. Yeah, and I think it goes back to living into this title bestowed upon us of a saint. And it's not, am I going to be a saint and live into obedience to Jesus in just the big things? It's just, am I going to do it today? With whatever is before me today. And I think we can reduce people's stories down to the bigger moments. And sometimes even make them heroes or idolize them for the big moments, when I think the reality and the nature of being a saint of God, being counted among the saints of God, is that daily obedience. Being a blessing to the person in front of you, loving the neighbor in front of you, discipling the person in front of you, being encouraging to the person in front of you, speaking a kind word to the person in front of you. I think that gets at the true nature of a saint. And when you do those small things consistently, the big things, when they come, you may not wrestle with them as much because you've built in this reaction. This spiritual response of, I'm just going to be obedient. I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to be obedient. And all of a sudden, the big things aren't as hard. But we're not just defined by the big moments. It's sainthood in the morning. It's sainthood in the mundane. It's sainthood in the evening, or in the evening with the kids. That kind of thing. That's I think that's the beauty and the call to us. And when you have a lifetime of that, that's when you start saying, at the end of your life, you could say what Paul says in 2 Timothy. I actually have done this, not perfectly, but every day I did it.
Well, it reminds me of what you're consistently saying to us on staff, and that is that the greatest gift that we can give to the people we are around, that we work with, that we're ministering to, is our personal holiness. And I think that in a lot of ways is encompassed in what you're saying.
And that is not selfish. It's not. It is a gift, because we're going to give some version of ourselves to those around us. And the question is it going to be a redeemed version? Or not? So
well, and I'm gonna tell one more short story, because I think those that have been at Fraser a long time actually will remember a number of years ago. I actually wrote a play that we did here that was kind of based on my grandfather, and it was when he was at a point in his life when his mind was not there anymore, and more he was not able to remember much. But the one thing that he would do every single time we were together as a family in the last few years of his life was repeat this one poem over and over again. It was by Sidney Lanier. And the reason why that's cool to me is Sidney Lanier was originally from Georgia. I'm originally from Georgia. He moved over to Montgomery.
Oh, wow.
And so I always felt this kindred kind of spirit with him. It goes like this. It's, I know not how such things may be. I only know that he speaks to me, not in the grass or in the sod, but in the quiet, still voice of God, speaking spirit unto spirit. And if I listen, I can hear it. Voice of God that speaks to me out of his infinity. And, it's a simple poem. It's not the deepest thing in the world, but it was just something, for whatever reason, that stuck with him. And he would repeat that over and over again. And, when I was going to write that play, and we put it up here at Fraser during Christmas, I called him to make sure that I had it right. He was still alive at the time. He's since passed. And I asked him to tell it to me. And so he set it out to me. And then at the end of it, he said, "There it is. Now it's yours." And at his celebration of life, I got to stand up and tell that and say, and to bring it full circle from where we started, I could not ask for a richer inheritance. I mean, there's just nothing I could ever want that would be a richer inheritance than him just saying a simple poem that says, "Hey, God is speaking, and if you listen, you'll hear it," and sincerely mean it, and say, "Okay, now that's yours."
Wow.
And feeling that in some ways stewardship of like, okay, now you go do with it what you're called to do.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. You know, it's interesting you say that, because my grandfather, and I didn't even think about this, you just said that, my grandfather left us a poem, and it's actually engraved on his tombstone. And it's something he would say all the time, and he said it so much, that's why we put it there.
Yeah.
But it was the poem that simply said, "Look upon me as you pass by. Where you are now once was I. Where I am now soon you'll be. Prepare yourself for eternity." And I remember doing my grandmother's funeral. He passed away first. And just standing there at the graveside and looking at that saying. And I closed that moment with that particular saying. And I think that statement, more than anything, has had an effect on me in helping me come to this reality that we do need to confront mortality. We need to be honest about that sobering reality. But where we are on the other end, because of what Jesus has done, we can't prepare for that. We can't enter into that. We can receive what Jesus has graciously offered us in salvation. But we do have to look as we pass by. We do have to remember that life is fleeting, and that eternity is a reality. And part of what we get to do this weekend is celebrate those who, for them, mortality is not just this thing they will experience, but now they have. And we get to say thank you to God for these people who, in His providence, has placed in our life. And we also, in one sense, get to say thank you to the saints who have gone before us faithfully. And it's almost like a pledge for the church for me. We don't do this, but it's almost like us saying, okay, this year's passed and now it's our turn. We're going into another year, we're going into another season. They're not with us anymore, but their stories are with us. What they taught us, all of that's with us. And we're going to carry that in, and we're going to pass it on again and again and again until the Lord returns. So it's going to be beautiful. I'm excited about All Saints Sunday. I am every year. It's emotional. The longer I'm here, the more of the people I know. And not just know their name and face, but now I know their stories. I know some of the things they've walked through, some of the things, the ways that God has used them. And so every All Saints Sunday over the last 5 years has just been building for me, and each one gets more and more sweet and special. But again, it's their stories that make it that. So come out and join us.
Yeah.
In a unique time, 1024, we're bringing the whole church together to celebrate and be a part of this sacred moment. 1024 Sunday, It's going to be amazing. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this conversation that we've had this week as we've talked about different aspects of All Saints Sunday and what that means to us and what it means for the church. And as you move forward, be on the lookout for who are the saints that have impacted your life, or who are those from history that you can look back onto their life and learn from them. Because as we've said through this whole series, our stories are powerful and they speak to us, but not just to us. We pass them on and they speak to future generations. So thank you for being a part of this conversation this week.